If you live in the United States and your parents live in another country, you can run into a minefield of tax issues when your parents pass away and you receive an inheritance. I'm Shannon McNulty, an international estate planning attorney in New York City, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about 3 costly mistakes when it comes to a foreign inheritance. The first costly mistake is when parents who live outside the US transfer their assets to this country in an attempt to make things easier for their US children when the parents pass away and the children receive an inheritance. While well-intentioned, this is a mistake that can leave the US beneficiary with a big tax bill. In most cases, there is no US tax when a parent who lives outside of the United States leaves their assets to a US-based child. However, if the parents' assets were located in the United States at the time of their death, then there would be a 40% estate tax when the parent passes away. To prevent this estate tax, the foreign parent should never purchase US real estate or open a US brokerage account without first consulting with a US lawyer who has expertise in these matters. The second costly mistake people make is failing to report a foreign inheritance. As I mentioned earlier, an inheritance from a foreign person to a US beneficiary of foreign assets generally is not subject to US estate tax. However, it is subject to a reporting requirement by the IRS. And if you don't comply with that reporting requirement, you could end up with a 25% tax penalty. The third costly mistake is not protecting the inheritance from future US taxes or potential creditors. Even if there is no US estate tax on the inheritance, the inherited assets become part of the US beneficiary's taxable estate, even if those assets are located outside the country. This means that when the US beneficiary passes, there could be a tax on those assets when the assets are transferred to the beneficiary's children. In order to protect the assets from taxes and also protect the assets from divorce, from future creditors, it's a good idea to leave the assets to a trust instead of leaving them directly to the US beneficiary. Cross-border inheritances can be full of tax traps. The good news is these tax traps can be avoided with an experienced international estate planning attorney. If you'd like help planning your international estate, please contact our firm to schedule a consultation.